Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Superstars of Wrestling Review Series, March the 20th, 1993. We are a couple of weeks away from WrestleMania 9. They're continuing to hype, some would say excessively, for the quality of the card, but they're continuing to hype WrestleMania, obviously, as would be expected. About 2 weeks away from the program, 2 weeks and a day, something like that. And everybody's getting ready. To think now that we're going into WrestleMania 37, A, I feel old, but B, just think about, starting one and 37 years later, it's still a thing and it's bigger and bigger and bigger than ever before. We go into this particular journey with Money Inc. against Alan Reed and Robert Thompson. Money Inc., your tag team champions, going into the Mega Maniacs of Hogan and Beefcake in WrestleMania 9. I don't know that that's the original plan. I don't know if Hogan coming back is surprising to anybody at the time. I don't know what that looks like. What I do know for sure is that match was overhyped and many would say underdelivered a bit. Anyway, so that contest is there. Really basic, simplistic match, to be honest. Not anything worth terribly writing home about. Money Inc. Does all their significant spots. We see Hogan entering from previous weeks and in the intro, which is just weird to see Hogan entering in 93, knowing that in less than a year and some months, Hogan won't even be a part of the promotion anymore. He'll be in WCW by June or July of 1994. So it's just interesting watching this at the time, having no idea that that's the way it was going. Real basic stuff here. Money Inc. hits power slams, punches, kicks. IRS hits his clothesline. Basically, the tag team champions are certainly getting ready for their opportunity here, and it is as best as going to be expected. They get a quick victory. Kamala and Jim Gorman. Kamala alongside Reverend Slick, which is, his babyface turn. Surprising that the fans get behind it so well. Maybe they just focus in on fans that it's over with. I don't really know. But there is a visual reaction to Kamala. Several shots by Kamala. They are hyping Bam Bam Bigelow and Kamala at this point for Mania. A match that I do not recall occurring, so maybe they cut it for shortness of time. Anyway, kick by Kamala, tries to spin him over for a victory. Kamala has to be reminded to turn him over. Fans telling him to turn him over, and there we go. Curt Hennig confronts the narcissist Lex Luger. Luger unhappy that Hennig would even confront him and challenge him. Hennig comes out with some towels and asks the full-length mirror of Lex Luger who's going to win. Towel says Mr. Perfect, and that incenses Luger. So their WrestleMania match is being treated like it matters, but really, even the way it's portrayed, they jump Curt Hennig into a feud with Shawn Michaels at Mania at this point, or at least begin jumpstart that process. Speaking of Shawn Michaels, he's up next here. He faces off against Joey Maggs in a non-title match. Maggs has been around for quite a bit. Ladies are very enamored with Shawn Michaels, as they would be for the next decades of his career. Really basic stuff. Maggs does come up with, some head scissors and the like. Michaels has always been a giving person. Promises that he will defeat Tatanka. And when I say giving, what I mean is willing to make others look good if it's going to make him look good in the end. Maggs catches his foot, spins him around. Michaels, unintimidated by all of this, jumps to the outside, manages to leap in to the top rope. Pretty athletic maneuver, hits top rope clothesline. Michaels gets an advantage there. He hits the super kick. The super kick not his finish yet. The finish of the time was the back suplex. Gets a victory off of that. Event Center with The Undertaker, who promises to make Giant Gonzalez rest in peace. How he manages to do that, I have no idea, or thinks he's going to do that. Head Shrinkers talk about Samoan, talk about the match with the Steiners coming up. Bob Backlund up next in a match with Larry Ludden. Not particularly a good match. Backlund does manage to stop and interact with a small child. I think he signed an autograph. It takes a few minutes there. Backlund again, 42-43 at the time, making a comeback after 10 years away from the WWF. Using, go behind traditional wrestling. Backlund was a collegiate wrestler, not to mention a 6-year world champion. Razor Ramon does an inset where he's less than impressed with Backlund, basically, without directly calling him old, which is bad form in professional wrestling, implies that he is old and beyond his better parts of his years. Backlund, meanwhile, holding on to the arm during the entire match. The roll up and single lift by Backlund into a full Nelson that he drops him into is really an amazing thing. If you've never seen Backlund's power and strength, worth going out of your way just to check out that one move in this match. Not something you have to do if you're not interested, but at the same time, Bob Backlund, deceptively strong for his size and his age at the time. I remember seeing Bob, I'm trying to remember who he was wrestling, but he did the one arm lift a guy in an arm scissors over your head spot in a live event that I was at this same time, 93, before 94, before he turns. And it was amazing to watch at the time. Giant Gonzalez sends a message to The Undertaker, basically saying that The Undertaker's own funeral is coming and he is looking menacing. Harvey Whippleman is very happy with his investment from All in points and services here. Then we go to WrestleMania hype package. Bret Hart and Yokozuna talked about. Hart says he does not plan to back down from Yoko under any circumstances, even if he's a little uncomfortable or nervous, whatever have you. Hogan and Beefcake we are reminded that they will be facing off for the Tag Team Championship. And basically Hogan cuts another wonky promo about being able to beat up and completely obliterate the mask of his tag team partner without consequence. Run it over, beat it up, whatever have you, which is just goofy. Crush is on the beach in Hawaii. He's been called Pineapple Head. He doesn't think that applies to him. Does think it applies to Doink with the green hair and the beady eyes. And he crushes a pineapple and basically insinuates that he hopes that it's Doink's skull come WrestleMania. Doink against Larry Sampson is up next. Doink, who is Matt Bourne, who does have collegiate wrestling background and is a second-generation star, manages to take Sampson down quite easily and efficiently. Doink promises to get rid of Crush, also uses a full body scissors and some ride time, which is surprising that they're allowing a heel to do that, but I think Bourne was able to shift between doing comedy and serious dark stuff and all that on demand. Fireman's carry takeover and then works the arm of the enhancement talent. This does not impress anybody except Doink, but that doesn't seem to matter to anybody but Doink anyhow. Back suplex, it looked like attempted, but he manages to, instead of that, go with a almost an inverted atomic drop and then a stump puller. We close with the event center, Kamala and Bam Bam Bigelow and Tatanka. Kamala is being readied by Slick to face Bam Bam Bigelow. Slick wonders what happened to Bigelow's attitude, catches him off guard. Bigelow says it's the beast, versus the Beast from the East. He doesn't buy that Slick has succeeded in turning Kamala into a man, and Tatanka promises to win the Intercontinental Championship for everybody, including the Native Americans and all his fans, coming up at WrestleMania 9. We close for today on that note. We'll be back with more right after this.